Hello, friends and folks. Welcome to another What's the Point segment of the Creative Middle Lesson. Today, let's look at our Christmas traditions and see if there's a point in following them. If you have Christmas traditions you want to share, please feel free to write them in our comment section below, and we could share them in another segment or in probably our next vlog. Well, when I was still in my country of origin, the Philippines, for those who don't know, we follow a lot of Christmas traditions. I didn't even understand some of them. For instance, eating festive food with glutinous rice in it, which supposedly meant that you will have more money because, as old folks say, glutinous rice is sticky. But what has it got to do with Christmas? Well, the British culture is no exception. And here are a few of their Christmas traditions that I quite enjoy. Okay, let's start. Number 1, the Advent calendars. In the Philippines, as soon as there is "ber" in the month, like September, the decoration starts and the air would already be filled with Christmas. Here in the UK, as soon as December 1 starts, people start counting the days in anticipation of Christmas. People use these Advent calendars where you open one window a day leading to Christmas. In the olden times, they used devotional phrases for the countdown. By the way, these started in the 19th century, initiated by the German Lutherans, which was spread throughout the Christian world. Today, though, the commercial world has used this tradition with many variations. Whatever the meaning of Christmas is to you, the Advent calendars now has just nothing to do with the Advent or Jesus coming. Don't you think so? However, it does sustain the excitement of Christmas as you open those little windows each day. Number 2, minced pies. A minced pie is a sweet pie filled with a mixture of dried fruits and spices. This is a real English tradition with a recipe that can be traced to the 13th century. It is a popular Christmas treat. If you make it on your own, tradition dictates that it should only be stirred in a clockwise direction. Another tradition tells us that before eating the first minced pie of the season, you should make a wish, then eat it in silence. It is also considered good luck to eat one minced pie in each of the 12 days of Christmas. Well, probably it's got a little association with Christmas, as the star on top of the pie represents the Christmas star or the angels that led the shepherds and the wise men to baby Jesus. Number 3, Christmas crackers. Christmas crackers are a British Christmas tradition dating back to the early 1850s, but they have evolved over the decades. Today, Christmas crackers are found in cardboard tubes, wrapped in wrappers or wrapped in Christmas wrappers, and both its ends are twisted. Until now, no one has actually told me the relationship between Christmas and Christmas crackers, except that usually before your Christmas dinner starts, you and the one sitting beside you would pull each end and the break will produce the popping sound, and then the contents of the tube will fall out. Then, depending on the price of the cracker you bought, the fun gifts inside will also differ. Then you also get a hat, well, supposedly to symbolize the 3 wise men, and you have to wear this on the duration of your Christmas dinner. What else is inside? A Christmas cracker joke to share to everyone for merriment. For whatever purpose it serves, I do find it as a festive icebreaker for Christmas parties. Merry Christmas! And the joke. Why are fish easy to weigh? What's the answer, honey? Because they have their own scales. And a proverb: the voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new lands, but seeing with new eyes. Wow-wee. Number 4, pantomimes. I think this has nothing to do with the birth or coming of Christ or even Thanksgiving. It can be traced back to the Roman midwinter feast, where everything was supposed to be upside down, like men dressed as women and women dressed as men. But now this is a popular form of theater performance at Christmas time. They started in 1723. The show would be full of light-hearted joking and frivolity, usually children's stories adapted for comedic effect, allowing the audience to interact with the characters. And usually there's a singing together at the end. Well, we used to watch this before the pandemic, so I kinda miss it. At 3 p.m. of Christmas Day, most Brits would open their tellies and listen to the Queen's speech to mark the start of the parliamentary year. This had been going on since the 1500s. This usually begins with a procession from Buckingham Palace to the Westminster. After the speech, the Queen leaves and the Parliament goes back to work debating the content of the speech. The speech would usually be encouraging, reassuring, and unifying, which is a good boost to welcome the new year with renewed hope and strength. While there is so much traditions in this ceremony, we can expand on this in our future vlogs. So please click that like button below if you'd like us to feature it. My last but not the least one, Boxing Day. This is usually celebrated on December 26. It had a bit of a Christmassy background to it, as it originated as a day of giving gifts to the poor. It's said that in the 17th century, it was a custom for tradesmen to collect Christmas boxes of money, presents, or sometimes leftover food, and then give them to each of their servants to take home. Well, they used to store their money in boxes. Usually too, it's a day off for the servants. But it now evolved into something self-centered, as it is now known as a shopping holiday, or as my friends would say, it's usually spent in front of the telly, eating lots of leftover food. Not for me though, because I still work on the 26th. Well, I just hope that however we spend Christmas, let us not forget the reason for the season. Have a blessed Christmas, everyone, and thank you for subscribing. See you next Sunday. Bye.